like most people coming straight out of graduate school, I went into teaching because I was very excited about my subject area. My reasons for teaching, reasons for loving teaching have evolved a lot since then, which is to say, I'm still very passionate about the subject matter, but I think I have a deeper sense of the other kind of work that one can do in the classroom. And it's not always about the content. Sometimes it's about preparing people to take a certain approach or to think about perspectives that they may not have considered previously. And those attitudes, ways of encountering new material are what last.
I have a big obligation. I have a big obligation to my students, is a lot of what it means to me. And I have an obligation to provide them sort of the best of myself and my ability. I take that incredibly seriously.
So the single most important thing that we do at the college is bring great faculty to teach here and support them in their work. That has always been the case at Williams. The reason we tell ourselves a story of Mark Hopkins on one end of a log and a student on the other is because we believe that there's nothing more important than that.
The standard dichotomy in academia is that you're either a teaching institution or a research institution, and Williams is always very clear with its faculty when we arrive that it's going to sit in the middle, which is in many ways asking a little extra of its faculty.
I think that when students look back on their college experience, in terms of their intellectual experience, what they really remember is the interactions that they had with faculty members who led them to think about things in a new way and respected the kind of intellectual journeys that they were on.
I think what I really value about being here is being part of an intellectual community that includes my students as well as my colleagues, both.
We see each other on the streets. We go to class, but we bump into each other going from place to place. We see each other in restaurants, in the coffee shop.
You know, your students invite you to their violin recitals, to see what they're doing in the community garden, what they're growing. I got invited to a mathematics colloquium where I sat in the room and was lost for about 3/4 of the talk that my student was giving. And so just realizing what an exceptionally talented mathematician he is changes, I think, the interaction when he's in my classroom and in that context where he's there to learn a little bit more about political theory.
The future of education in this century is that it's going to be more interdisciplinary, it's going to be more experiential, it's going to be more global, and it's going to be more collaborative than it ever has before. And as we hire this next generation of faculty, we're going to see those values, we're going to see that future reflected in the hiring that we do. Over the next decade, we'll be replacing about 40% of our tenure track faculty. That's about 100 faculty. Our responsibility in the campaign is to seize this moment to recruit, support, and retain the extraordinary faculty who are the future of the college.
I'll find myself sometimes coming out of classes and quickly writing down things, not just for teaching, but for my own research, for areas I want to pursue that have come up in the classroom, things that I'd never thought of before. A student says something or asks a question that it just hadn't occurred to me.
Williams asks its faculty to be both excellent teachers and also continue being active researchers and participants in their field.
I think that's what makes Williams faculty strong, and that's what we want to see in the next generation. Faculty who are continually curious about their own fields and continue to do top-notch work in those fields, and then bring that work to the classroom and inspire the students to do their best work as well.
If we invest in these things, we will hire the 100 best faculty that we possibly can. And if we hire those 100 great faculty, this will be a great college for the decades to come.